go. 3, let's go! बोलोगे वैसे।
कितने लोग ज्वाइंड है?
Hello everyone. A very, very good afternoon from the Vibe. We are here today to talk about a very innovative forum. We welcome you to the Hexalog, the Vibe, Women Inspire, Build and Enhance. This is a unique platform dedicated to fostering women's excellence. It brings together women doctors from diverse specialties to share knowledge, leadership experiences, and personal journeys that inspire growth and collaboration. The fundamental pillars that form the vibe are physical well being, mental health, financial wisdom, and professional excellence. Through various initiatives like conferences, forums, and mentorship initiatives, the Vibe strives to build a strong community of women professionals who uplift one another and redefine the landscape of healthcare leadership. I'm sure you all are excited to know about the team or the women behind the Vibe. I'm Dr. Ritu Johri, consultant diabetologist and metabolic expert from the western suburbs of Mumbai. I have a diverse background, have worked in the pharmaceutical industry for 1.5 decades, and now practicing in the western suburbs. With that, I would like to now call upon my team to introduce themselves. Luthika.
Hello, I am Dr. Latika Purohit. I've been a diabetologist practicing in Mumbai since the last 3 decades. I'm a partner at Sugar Doctor Medicare LLP, visiting diabetologist at JJ Group of Hospital and the Grant Medical College. Besides that, I'm a mom to an artist and an entrepreneur and a Rotarian. I was the past president of Rotary Club of Bombay Midtown. And besides that, I love to travel, enjoy on a lazy day when I can just, cook without opening a cookbook and just maybe dance or probably do Zumba or go for a swim. These are some of my interests. So next, I think.
Hello everyone, and very good afternoon to each one of you. I'm Dr. Pranjali Shah, Director and Chief Diabetologist practicing in Mulund at App Diabetes Clinic. I love helping young diabetics and help them living longer and stronger. But if you don't find me in clinic, you can see me doing farming, hiking. I have been a state level badminton player, so I'm so excited for today's this session. Over to you, Dr. Rukia.
Hello everyone. So I'm Dr. Rukia Surya Sheikh. I practice as a diabetologist and an obesity expert in Mulund for last 15 years. And beyond clinic, I love to work out. I love to play carom and I enjoy meaningful conversations that spark both laughter and also thought. And recently, I have discovered this joy of painting, which I used to do as a child. My little escape into this color and calm. And it's so wonderful to be here among such inspiring women doctors to learn, to share, and to grow together. Kavita, let's have it from you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dr. Kavita Rane. I practice in Chembur as a diabetologist for the past 14 years. I have also done my MBA in healthcare management. So I'm the director of operations at Rane Hospital, Chembur. I also practice at Apollo Spectra, Deonar, and Inlux General Hospital, which is again in Chembur. I love to draw. I love abstract art exhibitions. I love photography. I love to travel, and I love EDM music, and I love to play golf. Over to you, Dr. Ritu.
You're on mute. I think you're on mute, Dr. Ritu.
It really sets the stage that, diversity is a part that is very critical for the world as well as for us out here. Now, I'm sure you're seeing Dr. Neeta here. So, my honor to introduce our guest speaker for today. Dr. Neeta Deshpande, ma'am, needs no introduction, but it gives me an honor to read about her and tell you about her. Dr. Neeta is a diabetologist and bariatric physician at Belgaum Diabetes Center and Centra Care Institute of Diabetes, Obesity, and Metabolic Health. She's the medical director at Centra Care Super Specialty Hospital and MRC, is also the professor and head of Department of Medicine at Dental College, Belgaum, associate professor of medicine at the USMM KLE International Medical Program. She has delivered a number of presentations on obesity and diabetes at both national as well as international meetings. She has numerous publications in peer-reviewed journals and textbooks. She's been the past chairman for Karnataka RSSDI Association, is the principal investigator for several global clinical trials. She has also delivered orations like the KRSSDI oration in 2016, the Vandana Bambewala Oration National IRO 2019 for Obesity India, and the RSSDI Sam GP Moses Oration in 2021. She's been awarded the Fellowship of RSSDI in 2016, is the coordinator Consensus Group RSSDI Clinical Practice Recommendations for Type 2 DM and Obesity in 2022, has been the coordinator for the RSSDI Task Force on Obesity, executive member, International Metabolic Physicians Associations, and member of RSSDI National Executive Committee 2024. And she is the founder of the IDEC, which is one of the very important associations working towards the diabetes, obesity, and metabolic health awareness around. So, with that, and without further ado, may I start the program and welcome our guest speaker, Dr. Neeta, to this wonderful forum. So, Dr. Lotika, may you please do the honors of opening up our program?
Yes, yes. So, welcome, Neeta. It's nice to have you here.
Same here. Thank you so much for having me.
So first, the first segment is about the journey and the calling. What is it that first drew you to the field of metabolism and endocrinology? Was it the science? Was it a personal connection? Or was it something more personal that shaped your calling?
Yeah, thanks for that, Lotika. At the outset, I would like to thank this wonderful group. I'm already seeing such good vibes here. And thank you for inviting me as the opening batsman of the Vibe group,
Yes.
webinars. So coming back to your question, Lotika, let me just go back a little to why I took medicine in the first place. If you remember, Lotika, in our time, there were no openings. We only had two professions. You finished your science and you either took medicine or you took engineering. And I was so bad at math that that became an obvious choice. But the choice was also there because my father was a very famous pediatrician here in Belgaum. He had moved from the UK. And that was a big influence on me. And that influence also led me to take up medicine. And that's what I did. Now, the patient connection that I found took me to general medicine. What I found was that I work best when I'm with people. And I could do that. And that's the reason I decided to take general medicine and then move on from there. So something like, say, for example, radiology or pathology would never interest me because there's no interaction. So I'm totally a people's person. And that's the reason that I decided to take up general medicine. Now, coming to your particular question of why I went into diabetes and metabolism is very interesting. My father's thesis was on diabetes. And I used to see it sometimes even before I, took up medicine. That quite fascinated me. And that took me into this direction in such a way that even my own MD thesis, I picked diabetes as a subject.
Mm-hmm.
So that is what happened. And that took me more and more into this. And I think metabolism started interesting me more and more. And the personal thing that shaped my experiences even further is that you would not believe it, but Lotika would know it. I was obese as a teenager. I was obese as a medical student as well. But
Yes.
then later on, something got into me, and I decided to go I became a health freak, and then I decided to lose weight. And that started my personal journey of nutrition and got me interested in obesity and metabolic health. So it's actually a combination of childhood influences, professional atmosphere at home, and the need to connect to people that actually, kind of got me into this field.
Mhm. Yeah, it is very, very interesting because I know your father, of course, was a very famous pediatrician, and your mother, I have such fond,
Yes,
memories of. And yet I know that your brother was an engineer,
yeah,
and
yes,
so it's, a tough, or maybe I think in some ways a logical choice. And
yeah.
also, what used to happen was that in those days, I think diabetology was not recognized as a
Not at
field. It
all,
was,
not at all.
endocrinology. There wasn't anything. I remember in Satoskar, the
Yeah,
pharmac of diabetology, anti-diabetic medications was just sulfonylureas,
yeah.
maybe metformin, and just about insulin. I mean, so
To the
yeah.
extent that when I decided to leave the rest of general medicine as such and branch out into diabetes, my
Mm.
general medicine colleagues actually were quite horrified. They said, "What are you going to do in diabetology?
Yes, yes.
There's nothing.
Mm.
It's insulin 2 units up and 2 units down, and well, that's it."
Yes. That's
But
what.
I still decided to, it was interesting for me at that time.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. Good, good. So, yeah, I know it is interesting. It must have been a tough choice because,
yeah.
at that time, nobody knew that diabetes, like
Is
India
a
would
separate
become the
specialty. Yeah,
diabetes
yeah.
capital of the world and things like that. So, how has your curiosity evolved over a period of time from the discovery to the purpose?
Yeah. So if you talk about curiosity, that's kind of ingrained in the kind of nature that I have, in the sense that I'm very interested in people's lives, not in the
Mhm.
nosy way, but in the way that I care for what they are going through, or what their lives entail. And I always believe that everybody has a story.
Oh, yes.
And that even I carry to my patients also, that
Mm.
everybody has a story. So that kind of makes you non-judgmental. And
Mm.
this
True.
kind of fuels my curiosity as to what is it that makes this person tick. For example,
Mhm.
all of us have faced very irate patients, patients who are very
Oh, yes.
pesky, and
Oh,
patients who
yeah.
are very confrontational, and those kind of. So instead of getting riled up, I always wonder what makes this person the way he or
True.
she is.
True.
So this kind of curiosity in human nature is partly the curiosity that has made me evolve into maybe a better metabolic physician, because metabolism it's all encompassing. It's
True.
the
It's,
brain,
yeah.
it's the mind, it's the gut, it's everything. So it's all about people's stories. That's
Yeah.
what keeps my curiosity alive. And that's also the reason that research is going ahead, because there are so many. Now we talk about clusters. Clusters is nothing but individualizing people's experiences and how it
Mm.
manifests phenotypically. so
True.
so that
Yes.
is
Yeah.
basically what clusters are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, I know it. Of course, it has evolved, and we get all sorts of
yeah,
patients and things,
yeah.
who do come and see us and all.
And the
Can you
other
sh
thing that curiosity did for me, sorry to
mm.
cut you short, was that
Hmm.
it's the uh, zest for constant learning.
Yes.
And that constant learning comes not just from your books or from journals, but that constant learning is from colleagues. The constant learning is even from subordinates.
Oh, yes.
Constant learning even from friends who are not in the fraternity. So
Hmm.
that is the curiosity that keeps you going.
Yes, yeah, definitely. I'm sure, with an open mind, you always
Yeah,
learn and you always adapt because I think,
absolutely.
like, especially with the younger generation, with
Yeah.
newer, I'm sure even your granddaughter must be teaching you a lot of, things which are
True, true.
different. Yeah. Okay. Can you share a personal patient experience that reaffirmed your decision to stay in this specialty?
I would say there are several. There are several such things which really keep you going and that really make you feel, I think I must be doing something right. Especially when there are patients who come and tell you that, doctor, you said so and so that day and that changed my life.
Hmm.
I
Oh,
decided to
yeah.
do it that way. Or
Mm-hmm.
this usually happens as part of the counseling sessions that we do with patients, especially when they're very stressed, they cannot sleep, when they're anxious or they're angry, or
Mm-hmm.
there are patients who do not want to listen to what you're saying. But there are certain things, if you say to them, like for example, if you counsel them, don't you want to see your grandchildren play? Don't you want to run with them? Don't you
Mm-hmm.
want to enjoy life? Don't you want to go climbing hills even at the age of 65, 70, whatever?
Yes.
So whatever tools we use for counseling, which comes from the heart, that is what touches them most. And there are people who come back and say that I don't have any ailment today. I just wanted to see you.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I just needed to see you. So
Mm-hmm.
these are times when I feel that, okay, my being there is making a difference to people's lives. What more
Yeah.
can one want?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're really blessed for that. I get goosebumps as I speak to you about this, but
Yes.
this is what
Mm-hmm.
happens. And this reaffirms my faith that I must be doing something right, something on the right track if people want to come and see you time and again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now, that is very interesting, very, very insightful. Now we move on to the next segment. I think Pranjali will take the next segment.
So, the next segment, hi ma'am, the next
Okay,
segment,
sorry. Next segment is Kavita's. Yes.
yeah, the next segment is about breaking barriers and redefining success. So, Dr. Neeta ma'am, as a woman of medicine, what invisible barriers did you face and how did you transform them into stepping stones?
If you ask me, I would honestly say I've been blessed that I haven't really faced any barriers because of being a woman. Not really, because I was blessed with good in-laws, a good family, very supportive. Nobody ever stopped me from doing what I wanted to do because I was a woman. And I could forge ahead because of that. I know that not all women are blessed in that way, and people have challenges. I'm very aware and cognizant of that because we keep hearing stories all the time. So, as such, there are no barriers, but there are certain barriers in our own mind, is that as a woman, that I would like to address. And the first out of those is guilt. Guilt about a lot of things that we are not able to do because we are doctors. I did not say spend enough time with my child, or I did not cook for my child, or maybe I didn't attend this function that where all the entire family was present. So that guilt sometimes used to kind of be there. But as you go along in life, you learn to get rid of that guilt. And I feel that that was my real freedom when I got rid of the guilt. So that's in my mind. So that nobody ever had to say that to me, or nobody had to. But getting rid of that guilt, I think, is the first step towards a woman forging ahead, even in a better way, because that is the thing that can actually pull you back. Because you cannot cater to everyone. Like they say, you can't please all the people all the time. In the same way, that I would say that you will have to shed the guilt for the greater good of maybe your career, maybe people, maybe your patients. So those are the barriers that you can say were the barriers in my mind, which I shed.
Yeah. What you're saying is so important, ma'am, because what you talked about self guilt and
Yeah,
us standing in our own way,
yeah,
so important. As we as physicians and doctors, we tend to do that. We tend to
yeah,
doubt what we're doing. Is it right? Is it wrong?
yeah,
we need to think for the better good. You're absolutely correct. So moving on to the next question, how has your definition of success changed from your student years to now as a mentor and leader?
So, honestly, way back, that was what, 30 years ago, Lotika, that we entered medical school and we were students. I think in that time, things were not so competitive that we thought of success as the way it is thought of today. The biggest success was just getting into medical school. So that was the high point of our lives, that we got into medical school, and that was the best part. So as time went by, then we realized that, okay, now you've gotten into medical school, now you need to do something with it. And then there was no one mantra of success. So you just, trudged along, and then you found your niche at what you can do best. And then around you, when you start seeing your peers doing better things, it is not, jealousy or envy, but it is inspiration. It is inspiration that, okay, so and so is doing this particular thing in diabetes or that particular thing in obesity. I should adopt that. So that then those become the stepping stones towards success, is what I would say. There's no one lala, moment where you say, oh, this is it. No, it's not like that. But having said that, now after having finished my, a large part of my career, I do feel very happy mentoring the youngsters. So initially, when the youngsters used to start coming to me and telling me that, ma'am, tell us how you did it, that's when I realized, oh my God, I'm in a position now of where I'm mentoring somebody else. So it takes a while for that to sink in. But after that, you really want to give a lot of knowledge, perspective to the younger generation of diabetologists and obesity physicians. And I love to do that because I feel that the future generations are going to be, future generations of doctors are going to be beset with a lot of new problems. There's AI coming in, there's a lot of competition, and the healthcare systems are not so robust as they should be. There are malpractices, so many things happening. So you don't want those things to take over. And we don't want a generation of doctors who are bitter and cynical. So for that reason, I feel that they should be mentored to be happy with what they're doing.
True.
You cannot be bitter and cynical and yet be a good doctor. That's not possible. You have to love what you're doing. Just like they say, if you love your country, then you're happy in your country. If you love your job, you're happy in your job. So that is what I love to do that. I like to mentor people, whoever would like to listen, because it's not playing God, but it's the experiences that have shaped us. If they can help somebody. So I always say, make new mistakes. Don't make the mistakes we did. So that's how it is.
So true, ma'am. What you said, empathy and compassion is what take us forward, and not just shortcuts or short understanding of what we're doing. So, moving on to the next question from there, in moments of self-doubt, ma'am, what kept your inner strength intact?
My one mantra is that yesterday is over, today is another day. So that's the first thing. Honestly, it's not just a cliche, but that's what I believe in, because there's so many challenges that we are facing on so many fronts. So unless you have this attitude, and if you carry yesterday's baggage, you're never going to succeed today. So that is one thing. So of course, I've had my moments of self-doubt, but luckily I have a fantastic support system in my family and a great set of friends whom I can depend on when in times of self-doubt, who will reiterate that go ahead, do what you're doing is right. And also to, mentor me or tell me what I need to do next. So yes, there are moments of self-doubt, but thankfully I have a good support system.
Okay. So moving on to the next segment with Dr. Pranjali would take over.
So, hi, I'm coming in right now.
Okay.
I'm really excited to now move on, ma'am, to a little different concept. We're going to talk about balancing hormones and humanity. Of course, hormones being your forte. And I'm really happy at this point to just give a heads up that we're getting a lot of questions. Really happy to see the kind of interest generated by already the conversation happening on this platform. So I think vibe is vibing.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, I really feel that while you have spoken about you yourself in your life journey, and I really like the fact that you mentioned that, it's easy for us to see that we've not had challenges, but there are women, and therefore we
Yes.
need to also think about a broader platform. So, my question to you is that when treating metabolic disorders in women, how do you balance biochemical correction with emotional and social well-being?
Yeah, that's a very good question. And that's where I think we women diabetologists score over our male counterparts, because we exactly understand where that woman is facing huge challenges. We have a lot of women living with diabetes, living with obesity, who are judged by their family, especially if they aren't working. They are judged, they're stressed. Some of them are properly oppressed. These kind of problems that are there are sure to affect blood sugar, sure to affect sleep, sure to affect their weight. And if these are not corrected, no amount of medicines, no amount of weight loss medicines or anything is going to work for these women. And this counseling, they may even sometimes need professional counseling for that. So this kind of counseling is so very important before you even undertake any kind of formal therapy. And this is what we do at our center. In fact, if anybody has diabetes, obesity, all of our patients have got some metabolic disorder. They all go through a questionnaire where they are asked very personal questions, and because we need to know what is happening in their family life. Because if that is not taken care of, like for example, if somebody is living alone and is scared of needles and has no one to give an injection, and I'm giving an injection at a time when there is absolutely no help, what's the point? So these are some social issues. There are certain, or if there's someone in a joint family and there are some rules in the joint family which is forced to follow, our treatment has to be tailored around that to make her more comfortable. So these are the kind of things that we need to take into account apart from the investigations that you see and the list of drugs that you have. So this very, very big part in between is what is going to decide whether these medicines are going to make these investigations good and the metabolism to improve. So yes, that's a very important part of what we do. And we are very cognizant of women's problems. Like, for example, the menstrual period plays havoc with the blood sugars. This is hardly ever spoken about.
Okay.
And yeah, so if you don't know that a woman has come today with a fasting and PP that's gone haywire, you need to know whether she's on her period at that time. So these are some of the things. This is the intersection between biochemistry, a woman's problems in particular, and psychosocial issues.
Brilliantly put up, ma'am. And I think this is the emotional intelligence that I would take up as, a very critical tool for all of us women physicians, as well as, of course, male physicians as well. Because the moment the patient is sitting in front of us and we say that individualizing treatment is important, but also looking at these psychosocial values
Yeah.
is truly, truly the core of getting the outcomes that we are targeting.
On the
So thank
flip
you for
side, so
brilliantly putting that.
I have had pairs, a mother-in-law and daughter-in-law both having diabetes, and one
Okay.
coming after the other. So the daughter-in-law tells me, just tell her not to stress me out. And then the mother-in-law coming in and she doesn't listen. Just tell her that my BP is going up. She's got to listen to me, So these are the kind of things that they come and talk to us because they believe in us.
That brings me back to your point of the way you said that, being there makes all the difference. And that's why, again, very important that when we are actually getting into the conversation, we're also looking into all these aspects. And also, again, one more point that comes to my mind, Dr. Neeta ma'am, is that, a lot of times, like you said, we bring in the guilt. We've also seen that women do not come up and see, their health as a priority as much as they see it for the male counterparts of the house, or for, their elders for that matter. So I guess, again, like you said, that we need to understand the composition of the family, the way the entire family runs, who are the decision makers, who are the caretakers. I think that really plays a critical role. Thank you for answering that. Let's move on to the next one. Again, I would like to ask you, how do you feel, and do you feel that female physiology and hormonal rhythms are still underrepresented in current research?
They are actually. And that's why we have so many women's forums now, women diabetologists, and the diabetes in women, cardiovascular disease in women, because now we realize that there are a lot of biochemical, physiological changes unique to women, because it's only women who undergo so many phases in life. So as an adolescent, and then as a reproductive age, and then menopause, and then, all these, so many different phases only a woman goes through. Obviously, the physiology of blood sugar, the adipose tissue, and everything also changes accordingly. So one has to be very, very cognizant of the fact that when a patient comes to you, what are those forces doing to her at that particular point of time, and what are the changes that need to be made in the counseling, in the drugs, and in the entire therapy for that matter. For example, if a woman who is 65 wants weight loss, her goals are going to be different, because her adipose tissue is going to behave very differently from that of a 24-year-old. So these things have to be taken into account in a very, very comprehensive way while treating women. And this is not represented in research. You don't have groups of women in research. Like, for example, you take any anti-obesity drugs. Anybody above the age of 18 is the inclusion criteria. But nothing, you don't get data, age-wise, reproductive age group, menopausal age group. You're not getting data. What is their rate of weight loss, or what are the side effects that you see? So that way there is an underrepresentation, not keeping in mind a woman's physiological status at that particular time.
Super. I think, that brings me to my last question of this segment. So while you did answer a bit of it, but I'll just try to place it a little differently. I was going to ask you about how does deep listening work? But for me now, the question becomes, how do you place empathy and deep listening in, your practice when it comes to any women or any men sitting in your clinic? How do you, apply that?
It's at the top of my list. I absolutely listen first, because I have to connect with that person in a very deep way to be able to elicit any responses that are honest, and any responses that make that person know that I'm authentic.
Right.
For that, I have to connect on a very deep level. So I actually keep my pen, paper, mobile aside, and I first just listen to what that patient is saying. I am very careful not to cut up any patient mid-sentence, whatever they are saying, just to know what it is that they want to tell me. Let them tell their story in their own words, in the sequence that they like. This itself makes a very, very deep connect. And this deep connect is the one that binds them to you forever.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so
In
that
fact,
connect is very important. So,
true.
and there are patients who come and tell you that you feel good because you're listening to us. You're not just writing a prescription. Just writing a prescription doesn't require any great skill, because that it's there in the books. You know what the indications are, you write it. But that's not all. The connection has to be at a very different level, person to person.
I love this, ma'am. And I think that is the gist that I would take away for this segment because, like right you said in the start, that when you have patients who come and are looking at you for the difference that, you're going to make, and they've come there to listen to you and as well first speak. Because that's exactly, like you said, the daughter-in-law feels the mother-in-law is not listening, the mother-in-law feels the
Yeah.
daughter-in-law is not listening. So I
Yeah.
think that is what we all need to actually create for the patients when they are sitting in front of us. I think that's a beautiful message you've given us, that the patient needs to feel heard,
Yeah.
understood, and at home, or maybe not
Absolutely.
at home but at connect with you,
Absolutely.
so that they are
Absolutely. Yeah.
more comfortable and
Yeah.
more open to be compliant to whatever we are going to tell them. Super. So with that, I think we come to the end of this segment. I would give over the next segment to Dr. Rukia.
You're on mute, Rukia.
Rukia, you're on mute. Can you unmute, please? Yeah.
Ma'am, it's been wonderful to hear about you and this small intricacies that you're telling us about how you're dealing with your patients and your practice and how you're nudging one another there. So my segment is about energy, mentorship, and identity. So being a women physician, you wear many hats. You are a clinician, you are a caregiver, you're a partner, and you are a leader. So, what helps you to preserve your energy? How do you fill your own cup and authenticity, getting authenticity to that?
Right. The first thing that fills my cup is a deep sense of gratitude that I have uh, towards all that is good in my life and all the people responsible for that and the Almighty. And I'm not just, it's honestly not a cliche, but I really, really have that deep sense of appreciation and gratitude towards everything in my life. So that energizes me absolutely to the core. And I feel really positive once I realize that there's so much good in my life. So that is the one thing that fills my cup and takes me forward. And the second part of what you asked was, I think, authenticity.
Yes.
Yeah. So, like I've said earlier, also during this particular session that we are having, authenticity comes from being genuinely interested in people. When you're
Yes.
genuinely interested in people, you will be authentic because you're looking for answers. You're looking for something deep in them. So you're looking for deeper meanings that naturally brings authenticity. So
Yes.
everything about you will be natural if the interest is real. If
So,
the
like you
interest is
said,
real. Yeah.
the curiosity that you had when you got into medicine,
Yeah.
and that curiosity in understanding the patient, knowing the story of the patient,
Yeah.
listening to the patient, I think that all adds up and
Adds
that
up.
also
Yeah.
makes you real what you are.
Yeah.
So I'm sure along the way, like people come to you for asking you for mentoring.
Yeah.
You must have gone to another woman doctor, any other women in medicine or outside who may have guided you. Can you share that moment with us?
Honestly, as I said earlier, also, there are a lot of women who have, women and men both. I honestly don't really differentiate mentors and people who inspire, but there are a lot of people who have mentored me. One of the names that I would like to take here is Dr. K.M. Prasanna Kumar, who introduced me to research. He was the first person who had the faith in me. Whoever was the sponsor who was doing the research, he said, go to her and she will learn and she will give it to you. So he is one of the first persons who put me into it. He also mentored me from time to time. He's a top endocrinologist of the country from Karnataka. So but I feel that I am truly inspired by all the women around me, including all of you. All of you are doing all of this. You're managing your families, you're managing your children, and you're managing your passion. Somebody's playing golf, somebody's playing badminton, and we are all traveling. All of us are traveling. So we are all doing it. So I think we are a generation of very inspirational women to each other. So I would say that there is no one woman, or I can take a name of all the women who are working, doing so well, especially in our field. I feel they are all very inspirational. But one woman of science, if you ask me, who inspired me, not living or not that I know personally, but whom I always felt that it's phenomenal what she did, was Madame Curie. So when I
Okay.
read her biography, I was mesmerized, and it continues to mesmerize me when I read about her. What she did with her husband and how she discovered, radioactive isotopes and all of that. The way she worked out of a small little garage and what she did, it's absolutely fantastic. It's very inspirational. I still read that sometimes when I need to. But yes, inspiration is from all the women around us.
So, ma'am, when you're mentoring the new women, okay, the Gen
Yeah,
Z, the new doctors,
yeah.
so do you think that your advice today is different for a woman doctor? And what would that be? How would you mentor a women doctor upcoming?
I would mentor a woman doctor by telling her that, one, as I said earlier, uh, you have to get rid of guilt. That is number one. The number two thing that I would tell a woman doctor is take all the help you can from whoever is willing to give it to you. It could be your mother-in-law, sister-in-law, a maid, a friend, anybody. There should not be any ego issues or hassles saying, I can do this all by myself. No, you can't. So take all the help that you can get from whoever you can get. And I think that is the second thing that I would say. Third thing I would say, not only to a woman doctor, but to any doctor who is coming in, is there's no shortcut to success. You have to read really, really hard. You have to get to the depth of the matter, and you have to be on top of your game if you want to be known as an expert.
Nice. So, ma'am, taking support and giving support to each other is going to lift us all up together.
Yes, yes,
That's what this is all about.
yes.
So, while we are practicing and, we get stressed out, and how do you keep this burnout away? And what is the joy, that keeps you like awake every day?
The joy that keeps me awake every day, I've already mentioned some of the things, but it's my morning cup of coffee with 5 minutes of conversation with myself,
Okay.
with nothing else. It could be reiterating what happened yesterday, what I'm going to do today, and where am I headed. Sometimes they're very existential kind of questions, and sometimes they are very, very mundane kind of questions. But those 5 to 10 minutes of conversation with myself, these are very important to me. So I don't do anything major for not having a burnout. But yes, take off whenever you can, relax whenever you can. It could be a book. I'm a huge fan of Bollywood and movies and web series. That again is my relaxation. So
Nice.
I am on top. You ask me even what is the latest of yesterday, I would have seen it. Don't ask me when and how, but I would have seen it.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, so that's my relaxation, you can say, and I read a lot.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
So, reading, watching movies, and I think these are the small things, which we have grown up as.
yeah,
And, that just is those little things when we find ourselves.
yeah,
It doesn't have to be something very exotic,
absolutely,
but I
yeah.
think these are the simple things in life which can just get us
And
joy.
and and not to forget, it's my everyday crossword puzzle and Sudoku in the morning. I will not leave
Oh,
the house without that.
oh, fantastic.
That's a passion. Yeah.
I think you love curiosity, so you like that challenge that
Yes.
iska problem kya hai? I want to find the solution to it. So even
True.
if it's a Sudoku or a crossword, you want to
Yeah.
find the
Every day,
solution.
one Sudoku and one crossword is
Oh, nice.
staple diet.
Interesting. I guess
Yeah.
that keeps you younger day by day, and that's one of the reason for your glow.
Thank you.
Okay, so moving on, I would like to take Pranjali for the next segment.
Yeah, so I'm just continuing what you were discussing in segment 4. So we are going little deeper. And we're going to take a pause and we're going to reflect not just on science, but on the soul of medicine. This segment is about compassion, future, and legacy, the values that shape who we are beyond our clinic. So, ma'am, I would like to know any experience or any case you had where, apart from medicine, the compassion, empathy has given the best result in that particular case.
Again, as I said, there's no particular case that I would say that has given me the best results, but I feel that taking care of a person's psyche, listening to them and anxiety would actually do the entire work of one pill in diabetes. Exercise would do the work of maybe half a pill. Diet will do another half pill. So diet, exercise, and psychological well-being, if you are able to ensure, which I have been able to do for many of my patients, I think those have been my success cases. Where again, putting yourself in their shoes, empathizing with them, understanding their problem in the real sense has helped me to make even glucose better, made them lose weight in a better manner. These have been the success stories, and they're not one, there have been many, because that's the way we practice.
Yes. But ma'am, sometimes if you feel that sometimes we miss in treating some things and then you came to know later. So how do you correct those situations? Like sometimes we feel guilty, no, we are ye bhool gaye the, yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So in that situation, then how do you correct that and how do you solve that problem?
Means in terms of a patient?
Yes, yes, yes.
Like if you've forgotten to do something?
Yes, yes, exactly.
Yeah, if I realize it after the patient has gone, we actually call the patient and tell them
Okay.
that this was forgotten and this is what you need to take. If it was not very serious and I come to know later, I tell the patient upfront, I'm sorry, I forgot about this.
That's a big thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Transparency is the real thing. Patients appreciate that. There's no point in covering up. If sometimes patient pointed out to you, my hemoglobin was less, but you didn't give me anything for it. So I say, extremely sorry, it slipped my mind. So we are human, right? So that can happen.
Yeah,
so
sometimes we feel acceptance, it's a big thing, you know. So then
yes,
how do you solve? Like sometimes you feel Lana, ego hai beech mein, how we should tell them. So then
ego to hona nahi
yeah.
chahiye.
Yeah.
Because once a doctor has an ego, he starts to play God, and that's the start of the downfall. Because
Yeah.
it's very difficult to then bring that person down from that pedestal by himself. I mean, patients put you on a pedestal, but you don't need to believe that. You should not believe that. They say there are a lot of patients who come and tell you, you are God to us.
Yes.
But if you start believing it yourself that you are God,
then it will be a problem.
yeah, that's your downfall. So being humble is the only way that you will learn. So you will put some kind of a check and balance that this doesn't happen next time. If you acknowledge that yes, you forgot, so then you may tell your staff that please flag all the investigations that are off the mark, and then you will look at those flags and you will prescribe accordingly. So it's a question of learning. So if ego
Yes.
comes in the way and if you are not transparent enough, you will stop learning.
Excellent, ma'am.
Yeah.
And if the next question is about, as someone deeply rooted in metabolic medicine, so what emerging trends and innovations excite you the most for the future?
Right. So what excites me most for the future, number one is the study of obesity as a disease, and the kind of drugs we have today is unprecedented. So that is number one. The second thing that excites me a great deal and which I read a lot about today is gut health. I honestly, when we did medicine, I don't think we ever read about gut health. We did not read about nutrition, nothing. Even in today's day, I doubt if our students are taught about gut health and nutrition. Not yet. It hasn't caught on in the medical colleges even now. So this really excites me. And the last thing that excites me are all the studies that go on about longevity. So as a metabolic medicine person, these are the things that excite me, that man has been able to make such deep strides into longevity, into mitochondrial health, basically, because that is what is going to drive longevity. So mitochondrial health, metabolic health, liver health, these are the things that excite me. And last but not the least, what excites me most is that I started off as a diabetologist. And today, after 25, 30 years of doing diabetes, I realized that diabetes is such a small sliver of metabolic health. And I'm actually doing a very small part of what needs to be really big. And that's how we are today talking about metabolic medicine and not just diabetes.
Yes,
So that's the exciting part, that I have still so much to do.
excellent, ma'am. So I'm going a little personal about, I know that you love pets and I've seen your pictures.
Yeah.
So how do you manage your, home, and you're traveling a lot?
Yeah.
So how do you balance out your time with the pets? And I have seen you cycling. So it is
Yes.
not, so how do you manage your schedule and you make sure that you're spending quality time with what you want to do?
I think when you're doing 10 things, you always find time for the 11th.
Yes.
1 minute, let me just, I think my battery saver needs to be on. Give me 1 second. So you always find time for things that you love. And it is all about time management and priorities and learning to say no. So you have to learn to say no to a lot of things, to say yes to the things that you love. And there is no guilt, there is no harm in doing that. Because ultimately, you have to do what you have to do. There's only one life, and there is only that much time. And you're going to spend approximately half your life sleeping. So, so then there's so little time left to do what you want. So I do make the time by saying no to a lot of things. So the home, my cycling, my trekking, my hiking, all of these things give a huge amount of joy, and they actually make you more motivated.
I think it's frozen.
Yes.
Let's call her.
I just, understood she'll join in again. But meanwhile, I think Pranjali, amazing insights which Dr. Neeta is, bringing in. The way we all struggle, especially for our audience, women colleagues and male colleagues as well, of course, who've joined in. Thank you so much. But yes, we do need to understand that all of these are also equally important and to be prioritized for a good metabolic health and a mental health as well. So, we'll wait for ma'am to join in, but
Ritu,
definitely.
but what I really liked is, how she's like, just say no and don't be guilty about saying no.
Absolutely.
We are always feel so judged, and we are all juggling with so many balls at the time. And what she said really well is that if you like the thing, you're going to make time for it.
Yes, that's true.
Okay.
That's true.
So do that. I think that was really wonderful.
We have, I think, Dr. Neeta back. Yes, Dr. Neeta, we have you back. Great. Pranjali, you may continue, yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, sorry.
So the last question, how, if you want to give just one advice to 25-year-old Dr. Neeta, or a young woman doctor starting her journey today, what message would you leave for her?
I would give the message that I always gave to myself, even at that age, and that message would be never say never. So anything is possible at any time, and it is never too late to do anything. So that is what I would tell my 25-year-old self once again. And that is what I would tell any other person also at this point of time. So that's what keeps you going. That's the positivity that keeps you going.
Yeah, and you are a true inspiration for all of us and a true motivation, I'm sure. And it was exciting listening to you, ma'am. Over to you, Dr. Ritu. You can go ahead.
No,
Yes,
So, Dr. Neeta,
Yeah.
yes. So, what is the speciality of this today is our rapid fire segment.
Okay.
Okay. So, I'll be putting forward to you, shooting at you questions, and the first thing that comes into your mind is what you're going to give an answer, a short
Okay.
one or two, one line answer or a one word answer.
Yeah. Okay.
To start with that, ready?
Sure.
Hamper भी मिलेगा आपको. Okay. So, coffee, green tea, or meditation. Your secret booster during your long clinic hours.
Coffee for sure. And to the viewers, anyone who's listening, if you can send me different types of coffee, I'm all for it. Thank you.
Oh, wow. Okay. If not a doctor, what alternate career or a creative pursuit would you have chosen?
I would have chosen theater and singing.
Ooh.
Oh, you're a singer. We have to listen to
Yeah.
you at the end of it when a song comes. The best advice you ever received as a young doctor, which you still follow today?
Follow your heart is what I have always heard from my parents.
Okay.
And that's what I've done.
Your quickest mood lifter?
My quickest mood lifter. A good movie or a good book?
Wow. And do you think that, money, do you feel that, money is a taboo topic and should not be discussed by doctors?
No, it's not. Everyone needs money.
Yes.
It's not taboo. We need money for a lot of things, so it should be discussed.
Okay, fantastic. So, thank you very much. And that brings an end to our rapid fire question. And we shall send you a coffee hamper because you like the coffee and not the green tea or the meditation. But but today, if I want you to tell us one quote, okay, that this is what you want to tell us in one line, one quote, what would that be for us and for our viewers?
My quote would be chase excellence. Success will follow.
Nice. So, with this, we really had a great time having this conversation with you. And thank you so much. It was so wonderful to hear your story.
Thank you all. I had such a wonderful time with all of you, lovely, lovely ladies. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So thank you so much, Neeta. It's really been so insightful, hearing you speak and sharing your experiences and inspiring the women all over the world, as we say. And I just wanted to ask my team, what were their takeaways from today's talk? Ritu, what would you say would be your takeaway?
As much as I was excited at the start of the meeting, I think I'm already flying in the sky because I have so many takeaways. But since everyone knows I love talking, I will restrict myself to one line after the rapid fire brilliantly played by Dr. Neeta. I think push your horizons without any guilt and spread your wings to fly. The sky is the limit. I think that is what is my takeaway from today. And thanks to inspiration by Dr. Neeta.
Yeah. Kavita, what would your takeaway be?
So thank you so much, ma'am, for all the inspiration. I'm like all pumped up to go back and speak to my patients way deeper than what I used to already. But what my takeaway is, what like ma'am said, never say never. So I'm going to put that in practice and say more no's.
Yes.
Who do not deserve the time
Who
and energy
exactly.
to say yes to what I want to do. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Okay. Dr. Rukaiya?
I think what I have learned more from Dr. Neeta is that, her science and compassion, okay, her curiosity, they are just two halves of the heart. She loves the science as much as she loves curiosity, so whether she brings it that to her patients or she gets into research or she is meeting her friends, I'm sure she brings the vibe, when she is there. She just gets there.
Thank you.
Yeah. Dr. Pranjali?
Yeah, so the thing which I will never forget is never say never, which Dr. Kavita has also said, ma'am. And compassion and care is it's not outdated. So that one thing I'll always remember from this session.
True. That's true.
Yes.
For me, it is to keep your mind curious and open to learning, and of course, be gratitude. We should be grateful for so many things that we have that
Yeah.
go right for us. And with that, I think this has really been a very nice session. We really enjoyed, learning from you, sharing, listening to your personal experiences and your sharings about how you have dealt with in the last decades of your career in the field of medicine. And Ritu, would you like to add anything else?
Sunita, I must, congratulate you for helping us to vibe today. Thank you so much. I hope you also had equal fun. The entire reason of this platform was that we wanted that, women talk about themselves and they talk beyond science. We have a lot of platforms that talk about science today, and we are really very, very deeply humbled to be a part of those. But it is also very necessary that we reach out to each other and understand these smaller nitty-gritties of how to ensure that while we are multitasking as mothers, as wives, as doctors, and as homemakers as well, how do we ensure that we keep our mental health also sound? We look at finances well. We also look at how professionally we are growing, and of course empathy becomes the core, or emotional intelligence becomes the core. You are indeed a perfect embodiment of all these
Thank you.
pillars that we wanted to showcase. So thank you so much for that. So with that, may I request all of us to smile so that we can quickly take a snapshot as a picture for remembrance, for memorabilia of this particular seminar. So let's just smile. 3, 2, 1, and go. Smile. Thank you. And then we would like to end this note with the Be the Vibe. So may I request you, ma'am, to just show the W, that's our sign.
Right.
So let's all go at the count of 3 to 1, say Be the Vibe. 3, 2, 1.
Be the
Be the
vibe.
one.
Thank you so much, Dr.
Thank you
Nita.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you all
Thank
you.
so
you so
much.
much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so
Bye.
much.
Hope to see all of
Thank
you
you so
next
much,
week.
ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.